this here, that's half of this side, you're going to go up by about 2 inches or 2.5 if you're more on extra large side, but 2 if you're more on just large. So I'm going to make mine 2.5 right on top of this mark that I made here, and then from this mark here I'm going to connect it to this line from my front panel, right? This mark of 2 inches on the crotch. So if you have a ruler, that's better. So you're going to just connect this line here and then just mark it all the way to this 2 inches here, and then from there, this is now your new crotch. You're going to just give it a mark here. So you're going to just blend it in. So this is now my new crotch, and from this line that I just made, you're going to go ahead and mark about 2 inches here. That's 2 inches distance from this point here. So this is going to be for your zip, right? So you're just going to go ahead and mark. I don't know how far your zip will go down, but for me, as you can see, my fabric wasn't folded properly, so I can't go down further than this. So I have about, and remember, it's going to have to be a long zip because it's going down to your pants. So it's going down all the way to this, after going from your top, the basic bodice on top is going into the shorts. So let's say about 7 or 8 inches is where mine will stop. But if your zip is even longer, you can just go further. So that's it for this inner part here. So you're just going to go ahead, after marking the 2 inches for your zip, go ahead and just trace in about half an inch again for the crotch, for sewing the back crotch. So you see, I've marked in about half an inch here. So after that, this 2.5 that you marked here, you're going to go ahead and put in that same, you know, the measurement you used here from your front panel. For me, is 12. That's how your waist measurement divided by 4 plus extra 2.5. You know that measurement, right? You're going to carry it up again to this here. So make sure that it still falls on this line, right? So you're going to extend this line, and then you're going to make sure that it falls on this line. So for me, that's about, so this is 12 here. Make sure that you angle it. So for me, the 12 inches is going to fall in here. So this is now your new waistline, right? So this here is going to be your new waistline for the back. So you're going to angle it back up again. So you're going to make a straight line from this point here to this point here, you see? So this is your back. So make sure that it falls in right at that 12 inches. This extra 2 here is just the zip allowance at the back. So the next thing you're going to do now is this line that you have here, I'm going to connect it all the way down. So I'm going to mark it just down to the end of this pant here, and then I'm going to just add about half an inch for my seam allowance also. So mark about half an inch for my seam allowance. So this is it. This is basically the back panel of this pant. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So guys, see what I was saying before? You see, I know it might be confusing because of a lot of lines here, but just remember, this was your front panel. So you traced out the front panel without adding all the seam allowances. You went up to the waist. You divided what you have at your waist into 2. This is the center line, and then what you have left on the other half, you divided it into 2. So that's how you got this line. On this line, you went up by 2 or 2.5 inches, and then you extended your crotch by 2 inches, and then you connected this line, added your zip allowance at the back, took back this line again just to make up, because right now, if you connect this line to the waist, because this is where your waist starts, if you connect it, then your back waist will be smaller. So you have to get back the full waist, the full measurement of your waist, for me, which is 12. So you have to extend that 12 going out. So from that place you extended it, you're going to extend your line back down again. And then from there, you're going to add your seam allowance for sewing it. So that's basically it. And then you also add your seam allowance for the crotch. So that's basically how you're going to do it. So you see how I'm going to cut this out. First, I cut out my seam allowances, then go up back again for my zip. Cut out this part here. So this is my zip allowance. So this is going to be folded inside of the pant, right? So if you want, you can use 1.5 instead of 2 inches for your zip. It depends on, just use the same amount you use for your top. If it's 1.5 that you left at the center back for your top, use 1.5 for the pants. I think I used 1.5, so let me reduce mine. So this is going to be my zip allowance. So from here I'm going to cut my pants out. You see, I've cut it out, and then I'm going to follow this line now to cut out this slant here. So this is basically it for my pants at the back. So what I'm going to do now, I know the shape is not regular shape, but it will fall in slowly. So what I'm going to do now here is that, you see, I've gone ahead and joined my front panel. So basically I went ahead and added my darts. So I took my front bodies, added my darts, took my the bottom part, joined it at the center where the crotch is, added my dart also, and then joined the front and the front top and the front bottom together, and I ironed it out. So you see where I made my seam here. This is the center seam of the back, the front. You see where the crotch is. Just join it, putting your dart, putting the dart on the front also, then join it together at the waist. So this is what it looks like. So now for the back panel, I also added my darts here on the two sides of the back. So I added my dart on this side, also added my dart on this side, and you see I have my zip allowance here, and then I joined it at the shoulder for each one. So one side is attached to one side of the front, right? So the next thing you're going to do now is, I'm just going to go to the sewing machine and use this seam allowance that I added here to join the crotch here, right? Maybe go up about 1 inch into the zip and then stop. So you see, I'm going to go make a stitch all the way. That's right side facing each other, not on this side. I'm going to flip it and make my stitch up and stop somewhere here before I'm going to go up to maybe about 1.5 inch. So this is where it depends on how long my zip is. So this is where my zip is going to start. And then I'm also going to go ahead and add a dart to the back here. So you see, I'm going to add a dart, 2 darts here, just a very short dart, about 5 inches of length. And then I'm going to join one side of the back to one side of this back here. I'm going to join the other one side of the back together. So guys, this is what I have right now. I've joined the front to the bottom front, joined the back to the back here. As you can see, this is what it looks like. And also joined the crotch here, but then I left space for the zip. You see the back here. So what we are going to do now is, the way I folded it now, make sure that you align the back of the pant, like the edge, right, the side, right? Make sure that the two of them, the front and the back, they are equal. See how this one is, you see? This is where the crotch is. I've not joined it together. But I want to show you guys what you're going to do, because as you can see on the pant is not straight, is like curved somehow. So what you're going to do, it depends on how high you want your curve to go. If you want, you can go up 3 inches or 3.5. But for me, I'm going to use about 3.5, or I think I'm just going to use 3 inches here. Mark my 3 inches here, and then from that line here, I'm going to try to blend it in, right? So just keep it straight and curve it this way. So curve it this way. So I'm going to cut this part out before adding my ruffle. So I'm going to cut out this part here. If you want, you can omit this part here, but it's part of the style. So guys, I've gone ahead and cut it out. So this is it right now. So the next stage of this is to go in and add my ruffle, right? I'm going to go back in, close the crotch of this pant. So how you're going to close it is hold one end this way, hold the other end this way. Close it up, and then you start adding your ruffle. You start adding your ruffle. So let me show you guys my ruffle. I've gone ahead and cut it out. So you're just going to cut as much as you would need lengthwise, right? But then the width for me, I'm using 4 inches for my width here. So 4 inches, I'm going to fold 1 inch, and then I'm left with about 3 inches, and then I'm going to use half an inch for attaching it. So the 4 inches includes my seam allowances. So this is what I have here. As you can see, I have a lot of it here. So, and then I still have to open it up, so it's like long. And then the same, if you want, the same time you're cutting the straps, you can also go ahead and cut a long one for your belt, because you know it comes with belt. So we are going to go ahead now and go and attach the ruffle to the bottom. See, I've gone ahead and sewed this side. So what I did is just I've done one side completely. So first I went ahead and put the zip. After putting in putting the sleeve, after putting in the sleeve, I closed it up and came all the way down here. And then before I got to this end here, I finished up after joining the crotch together, right? After joining the crotch, you see what the crotch looks like. I went ahead and started from this side to put in my ruffle. After putting in the ruffle, so I now closed it up. As you can see, this side seam goes all the way down into the ruffle. So this is one side done. So see, the same thing is happening here. The crotch is closed, so this is the crotch of the pants. So I'm going to just start from one side, right? Just start, maybe pick up this end here, and then this is the ruffle I'm using here. So place it here and just start gathering it as I'm sewing. Just keep gathering it as I'm sewing, and then all the way I'm going to fix it all the way around and come back to this other end, because this is the two ends of this pant. So I'm going to sew it and then come out to this other side. So guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead and attached this here, but the side is still open. So you see the ruffle is attached now on this side of the pant. So what I'm going to do, and then I've also gone ahead and put in the sleeve on that same side. So what I will do now is, as you can see on the picture, on the thumbnail, you'll find that the tie on the sleeve came out from instead of using elastic for it, they used like a piece of this fabric to make the tie for the sleeve. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to sew the sleeve about 1.5 inches at the end here, 1.5 inches of length, and then I'm going to skip about 1 inch opening, right? Stop here, stop somewhere here, and then leave about 1 inch opening here, or 1.5 again, and then start back my stitch and then sew it all the way to the side. So I'm going to leave this space open and then close up the whole part of this romper. So I'm just going to sew it all the way and close up the side of the romper and show you guys. I'll come back and explain why I left this part open. So guys, this is what it looks like right now. So you can see the opening here. So what I'm going to do is just to fold this, right, the way it is now with this opening. I'm going to flip it on itself, right? So I'm going to, you see this opening is here, so I'm going to flip this here just to make my loop. So I'm going to sew on it all the way around. So right now the loop is on the inside, so I'm still going to make the strap that I'm going to put inside here. So you see what it looks like. So I'm going to sew this down all the way, fold it this way and sew it. So guys, this is it here done. I've gone ahead and put my zip at the back, so you can see this is the zip at the back. So this is one of the sleeves here. So you just basically have to make something that looks like this, putting a safety pin on one end, right? And then you're going to pass through that 1 inch space that you left, and then you're going to just loop this around. So guys, this is what it looks like. I've gone ahead and passed it. So I also went ahead and made a belt. So this is for the waist, and this is the end of the pant. You see why I cut it this way? You see, you can notice the shape. It goes down this way. So that's basically it for this here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye.